NASCAR's lost teams. King Racing. King Racing is a former NASCAR Cup Series race team that competed from 1986 through 1995. The team is owned by drag racing legend Kenny Bernstein. Several drivers have spent time driving for the race team in its relatively short existence, such as Joe Ruttman, Morgan Shepherd, Ricky Rudd, Brett Bodine, Steve Kinser, and Hut Strickland. Now, for a first-year team, King Racing was solid. Ruttman's best start was third at Richmond in the fall. His best finish was second twice at Richmond and Martinsville in the spring, leading 55 laps altogether throughout the '86 season, scoring 5 top 5s and 14 top 10s, finishing 15th in final NASCAR Cup Series point standings. Even though they had a pretty strong season together, Ruttman and King Racing parted ways at the conclusion of the season, bringing in successful journeyman driver Morgan Shepherd to drive the Quaker State number 26 Buick full-time for the 1987 season. They were not quite as strong in series point standings in '87, mainly due to a high number of DNFs, 12, including 6 engine failures. Shepherd's best start was first at Martinsville in the spring. This was King Racing's first pole they scored as a team. His best finish was second at Charlotte in the spring, leading more laps in '87 than in '86, with Shepherd driving, leading 164 laps in all. Overall, in 29 starts, Shepherd scored 1 pole, 0 wins, 7 top 5s, and 11 top 10s, finishing 17th in final NASCAR Cup Series point standings. At the conclusion of the 1987 season, Morgan Shepherd and King Racing parted ways, signing NASCAR winner Ricky Rudd to drive that number 26 Buick starting in 1988. When they could actually make it to the checkered flag, typically they finished near the front. Rudd had 12 DNFs in 29 races, 11 engine failures. His best start was first, twice, at Martinsville in the spring and Riverside in the early summer. His best finish was first at Watkins Glen in the summer, leading what would end up being the most laps Rudd would ever lead in a single season throughout his decades-long career. Overall, in 29 starts, Rudd scored 2 poles, 1 win, 6 top 5s, and 11 top 10s, finishing 11th in final NASCAR Cup Series point standings. Following a horrendous season as far as attrition, including 12 times that Quaker State number 26 never made it to the checkered flag. 11 times were because of engine failures. Team owner Kenny Bernstein built a brand new state-of-the-art race shop in Charlotte, North Carolina, moving everybody into it ahead of the 1989 NASCAR Cup Series season. Also hiring former Richard Childress Racing engine builder Lou LaRosa, which brought the much-needed reliability to the team's engines that the team needed. Ricky Rudd continued to drive the new revamped King Racing number 26 Quaker State Buick in 1989. '89 was a better season, climbing into the top 10 in points for good about halfway through the season, and staying there. Rudd's best start was fourth, and his best finish was first, both coming at Sonoma in the early summer. Not leading as many laps as the season prior, but still a fair amount, with 247. In 29 starts, Rudd scored 1 win, 7 top 5s, and 15 top 10s, finishing 8th in final NASCAR Cup Series point standings. In between the 1989 and 90 season, Rick Hendrick would sign Rudd to drive for the team's number 5 Chevrolet. With Ricky Rudd departing to Hendrick Motorsports, Bernstein decided to hire Brett Bodine to drive the King Racing number 26 Quaker State Buick full-time starting in 1990. Larry McReynolds continued to serve as the number 26 team's crew chief. All in all, the 90 season wasn't so bad. The team spent 6 weeks inside the top 10 in points, even winning a race, although there was controversy surrounding the scoring, and winning the pole for the fall Charlotte race. Bodine's best start was first at Charlotte in the fall, and his best finish was first at North Wilkesboro in the spring, leading 216 laps throughout the season. Overall, in 29 starts, Bodine scored 1 pole, 1 win, 5 top 5s, and 9 top 10s, finishing 12th in final NASCAR Cup Series point standings. Things began to change a bit for the King Racing team in 1991. Brett Bodine returned to the number 26 Quaker State Buick full-time, but Larry McReynolds, he only served as the team's crew chief for the first 4 races of the '91 season, before Clyde Booth took over the position. This season was not nearly as solid as the season before, when they only had 5 DNFs. In 91, it had ballooned up to 13. Rhett's best start was first in North Wilkesboro in the spring, and his best finish was second in Martinsville in the fall, leading 163 laps throughout the season. Overall, Bodine scored 1 pole, 0 wins, 2 top 5s, and 6 top 10s, finishing 19th in final NASCAR Cup Series point standings. General Motors decided to pull Buick from one of their manufacturer options at the conclusion of the 91 season. So in 1992, King Racing made the decision to switch to Ford. Also, Clyde Booth was replaced by Donnie Richardson, Bodine's brother-in-law, as crew chief. 92 was a very solid season for Bodine and the team. His best start was first at Dover in the spring, and his best finish was third at Martinsville in the fall, leading 237 laps throughout the 93 season. Overall, in 29 starts, Bodine scored 1 pole, 0 wins, 2 top 5s, and 13 top 10s, finishing 15th in final NASCAR Cup Series point standings, remaining behind the wheel of King Racing's number 26 Quaker State Ford, spending the entire 1993 season between 23rd and 10th in point standings. A bad accident in qualifying ended up leaving Bodine with a broken wrist and a small brain bruise, forcing him to miss the fall race. Bodine's best start was first, twice, at North Wilkesboro in the spring and Michigan in the early summer. His best finish was second at Darlington in the fall, leading 102 laps throughout the 93 season. Overall, Bodine scored 2 poles, 0 wins, 3 top 5s, and 9 top 10s, finishing 20th in final NASCAR Cup Series point standings. The 1994 NASCAR Cup Series season would end up being the final season that Bodine would drive for Kenny Bernstein's number 26 Quaker State Ford full-time, spending the 94 season between 25th and 12th in point standings. Bodine's best start was second in North Wilkesboro in the spring, and his best finish was second in Indianapolis in the summer, the same race where he and his brother Jeff got into an accident while fighting for position. This caused a rift in the Bodine family for a while. Leading 55 laps throughout the 94 season, overall, Bodine scored 1 top 5 and 6 top 10s, finishing 19th in final NASCAR Cup Series point standings. At the conclusion of the 1994 season, Bodine parted ways with King Racing to join Junior Johnson & Associates in their number 11 Lowe's Ford as, quote, a replacement for Bill Elliott. Yeah. Bernstein made the decision to sign World of Outlaws legend Steve Kinser. Unfortunately, the World of Outlaws champion had serious issues adjusting to the bigger, heavier race cars. In his first 7 attempts in that number 26, Kinser did not qualify twice. His best start was 23rd in Atlanta in the spring. His best finish was 27th at Rockingham in the spring. By race 8 in Martinsville, Kinser was replaced by veteran NASCAR driver Hus Strickland. Strickland was able to pull some strong runs out of that number 26 team. His best start was first at Rockingham in the fall, and his best finish was 4th at Dover in the spring. Leading 45 laps throughout the 95 season, overall Strickland scored 1 pole, 0 wins, 2 top 5s, and 5 top 10s, finishing 36th in final NASCAR Cup Series point standings. At the conclusion of the 1995 NASCAR Cup Series season, Bernstein shut down King Racing. Bernstein's King Racing, at one time, also consisted of a kart team, as well as the NASCAR operation, even running the Indianapolis 500, with drivers such as Johnny Rutherford, Jim Crawford, Roberto Guerrero, and Scott Goodyear. Bernstein shut down his kart operation at the conclusion of the 94 season. In 293 NASCAR Cup Series starts, the number 26 team scored 9 poles, 3 wins, 40 top 5s, and 99 top 10s. So, with the best points finish of 8th, coming in 1989, with Ricky Rudd behind the wheel. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time.